चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। बनवासी बन राज दुलारे, सबसे नाता तोड़ चले, मुख मोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चला राम का सेवक बनकर, लक्ष्मण जैसा भाई। चले जानकी बनकर अपनी, प्रीतम की परछाई। नर नारी पशु पंछी सबका मन कुलाता, चोर चले मुख मोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। जैसे बछड़े छिन जाने पर, देखा कर दे गया। वैसे ही रो रो कर देखे, राम लखन को मैया। माया ममता महल मोह, इन सबसे नाता तोड़ चले, मुख मोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। लक्ष्मण बिना महल है सोना, सीता बिना रसोई। राम बिना है सोनी अयोध्या, सारी प्रजा रोई। चोर की कलियों की गलियां का, तो से नाता जोर चले, मुख मोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। चोर चले आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। बनवासी बन राज दुलारे, सबसे नाता तोड़ चले, मुख मोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। आज हमारे राम, अयोध्या चोर चले। बोलिए श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। बोलिए श्री रामचंद्र की जय। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। Jai Jai Sitaram, and a cordial welcome on behalf of Nirmala, Maharaj Hari and family, and Inar Maharaj and family to join with them and us here at the Mandir and all who are joining with us virtually today to this small satsang in which we remember and we honor the memory of Ani Radha Maharaj, who was born on 5th of January 1937 and left this physical body on 9th of February 2017. And today we celebrate her life, we honor her memory together with her children. Miss Annie, as she was commonly called, had many different names as she was referred to. She was called Mummy, Mama, Queen, Sister, and Friend. She was the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Chini Manmohan Singh of Sidras, wife of Michael Maharaj, mother of Nirmala Maharaj Hari, Inar Maharaj, Durdarshan, and Reshmi, grandmother of Daniela, Lalchan, Kewal, Ravindra, Radhya, Nirvana, Ariana, Vidya, and Michael, mother-in-law of Robin, Vidya, and Anand, sister of Ralph, Raphael, Ulix, Euclid, Radhika, Narayan, Sita, Kamla, Sirojini, Rajindra, relative of the Maharaj family, the Swarat Singhs and the Dole Singhs family, aunt and friend of many. Today, we join together in this humble satsang as requested by the family members. Some of the bhajans that we'll be doing are specifically ones that she had loved to listen to, she loved to hear, and we'll be doing some of those this evening. And we'll also engage in a small katha from the pages of Sri Ramcharitamanas as we all humbly pray on behalf of this departed Atma and of course together with the members of the bereaved family and their relatives and friends, asking Bhagwan to shower his choicest grace and blessings upon all. And today especially our focus being the late Ani Radha Maharaj, that this satsang is in her honor and to remember her memory. At this time, I ask that we all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads, we focus our minds wholly and solely at the feet of Maryada Purushottam Prabhu Shri Ram, the Supreme Paramatma, asking that Lord to listen to our humble petition, our humble prayer, our humble devotions this evening, and to grace us with his blessing. Let us all pray, devotees. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Guru Charan Kamale Bhyo Namaha. Om Shri Govindaye Namo Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirviganam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvara Ya Kundendu Tusharhar Dhavala Ya Shubhra Vastravrita या वीणा वररङ्गमन्दितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शङ्कर प्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मम पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेषजाड्यपः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। रामाय राम भद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः। नीलं भुजश्यामलकोमलाङ्गं सीता समारोपितवामभागम् पानामहासायकचारुचापं नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं। नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं। नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथं। जय जय राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। जय जय राम सीताराम सीताराम जय जय राम। बोलिए श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। We begin this evening's devotion offering praises to Gajanana Swami. We join our voices together as we humbly ask that most merciful Gajanana Swami to allow this satsang to be most successful, to bring that joy, that happiness in the hearts of this departed Atma and members of her family. We humbly offer this praise to you, O Shri Ganesh Ji. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Shankar Suvana Shri Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh,
Shankar Suvana Shri Ganesh,
Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh,
Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh,
Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandan Shri Ganesh,
Gauri Ganesh Uma Mahesh, Parvati Nandan
गणेश विनायक गणेश बुद्धि विधाता श्री गणेश
विनायक गणेश विनायक गणेश बुद्धि विधाता श्री गणेश
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
सुखदायक गणेश विघ्नहर्ता श्री गणेश
सुखदायक गणेश सुखदायक गणेश विघ्नहर्ता श्री गणेश
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
गौरी गणेश उमा महेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश
पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश पार्वती नंदन श्री गणेश बोलिए श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय devotees. Ani Radha Maharaj, as she is commonly called by Miss Ani. I never had the pleasure of meeting with her, but I do know two of her children. I do know Nirmala Maharaj Hari, and I do also know Inar Maharaj, and very, very, very wonderful devotees, wonderful people, wonderful families. And today, Inar's children have sent some memories of their Aji that they would like to share with all of us. And some of you who are looking on will, of course, be familiar with some of these memories because you would be familiar with this devotee who has passed. But for those of us who do not know, it will give us a little insight as to the person that she was. So there are three memories that are going to be read. So in between the memories, we are going to do bhajans that were requested. So Swarupta will be reading on behalf of the three children of Inar, because they are all three girls, so I thought a female voice would be nice.
Sitaram, everybody. So some of Ariana's memories of Mama Annie from 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we lost our beloved Mama Annie. She was spicy with her words, but never with her cooking. Some of my fondest memories of her was after we endured the drive from Pinal to Cedrus, only after arriving to a table covered in food. All different kinds of treats for us to enjoy. She loved to give us a special treat of a glass of red Solo and milk. She would always have many delicious dishes for us to enjoy. When she would come to visit, I tried my best to learn her recipes, but she would always tell me that it was a feel and she could not tell me a measurement in cups. Mama always said better belly bust than food raised. I miss my Monday calls to you, and I can't imagine going to Cedrus and not having you there to make me roti and tea, which was really just Milo. I'm grateful for all the time I got to spend with her and the unforgettable relationship we had. I always tell my friends stories, and when they say that they can't wait to meet you, my heart drops for a second when I tell them you've passed. She is missed and loved.
Very beautiful bhajan that was requested that tells of the love and the attachment that mother has for her children. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारे, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं। माँ तेरी ममता
कितनी प्यारे, कितना प्यार जगाते
श्वास की रक्षा करती, श्वास श्वास की
रक्षा करती,
पग पग प्राण बचाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ। तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारे, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है। तू ऋषियों की रिद्धि सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ, तू ऋषियों की
रिद्धि सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ।
तू हाथों से भाग जगा के भागे भागे आती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ। तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं। तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू है माँ भवानी माँ, तू पुराण का तार शारदा, तू वेदों की बानी है। तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, बालक को गोद में लेकर जीवन गीत सुनाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ। तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ। तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी,
कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं,
कितना प्यार जगाते हैं माँ, कितना प्यार जगाते हैं। बोलिए श्री आदि शक्ति दुर्गा माता की जय, बोलिए श्री माता जी की जय। So now we'll share another memory.
Vidra remembers Mama Annie in these few words. Mama was the best cook ever. She made the best soup and dupatti. She was a genius when it came to numbers, and I remember shouting out times tables and she immediately replied with the correct answers. She was a super talented seamstress who taught me how to measure and sew a nightgown on the dining room table. My most amazing time with her was when we, Neri, Ari, and Vidra, went on the beach, got chips, and came home and cleaned them. We then used the shells for an art project and made them map of Trinidad. So many memories in a short time. We adored her and will forever live life with a place in our hearts.
It's another very beautiful bhajan that was requested. Very meaningful one. And, each and every one of us, we look forward to this blessing from Shri Krishna. जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, जब चारों तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा का दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न खेवन हारा हो, और कोई न खेवन हारा हो, फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, फिर जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे, दुखियों को दुख दूर करे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। Holy Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. So now we listen to the third memory.
There were the grandmothers you saw in the movies, and then there was my Mama Annie. She was loud, sassy, and spoke her mind. On initial meet, it is surprising, but in reality, there were so many soft sides of her. Her love language was gift-giving and cooking for others. Those soft sides combined with the hard side made her a staple in my life. For the rough, independent person she was, it always surprised me that the animals she gravitated to were butterflies. Whether it was ceramics in the house or near her precious plants in her yard, they always had a presence when we spent time with Mama. When she passed, a butterfly landed on the fence between the house and the yard. I stared at the butterfly as we walked by several times, nearly brushing her, but she remained unmoved. She stayed still and strong until Mama's body left her beloved house for the last time. And now, while my Mama was moved on, the butterfly has become an important part of my life. The butterflies that pass make me feel that she is near and watching over me. I view them as good luck. I view them as a sign to keep going. I view them as her saying, I will always be with you. While she may not be with us physically today, her spirit remains and flutters around us as butterflies, and I will forever know she is with me as I continue in this journey of life.
So now we'll join a very special song that Srupta will sing that tells us again of the power and the gift that is a mother.
माँ सुनाओ मुझे वो कहानी जिसमें राजा न हो ना हो रानी। माँ सुनाओ मुझे वो कहानी जिसमें राजा न हो ना हो रानी। जो हमारी तुम्हारी कथा हो, जो सभी के हृदय की व्यथा हो, जो हमारी तुम्हारी कथा हो, जो सभी के हृदय की व्यथा हो, गंध जिसमें भरी हो धरा की
बोलिए श्री माता जी की jai. So devotees, it's a wonderful dedication and honor to this mother who has left this world, and she has left behind, wonderful children who are also bringing forth wonderful families into this world and bringing up their children with a great amount of love, care, and attention, growing them up to be, responsible members of our society. So at this time, devotees, there's a very beautiful bhajan also that was requested, and this bhajan has great meaning for each and every one of us as we all live this life. The bhajan is reminding us to not fall prey to that which is false, that which is temporary. What are temporary situations in our life? Temporary things, temporary possessions. The bhajan is urging us to not fall to that illusion, prey to that illusion, to not be fooled in this world, devotees. Jyoti jana magavaya sadhu, Jyoti jana magavaya sadhu, Jyoti jana magavaya, Jyoti jana magavaya sadhu, Jyoti jana magavaya sadhu. एक पिता के हम सब लड़के, धरती हमरी माता। एक पिता के हम सब लड़के,
धरती हमरी माता।
कुटुम कबीरा संगन साथी, कुटुम कबीरा संगन साथी, काला डंक बजाया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु,
ज्योति जन मगवाया,
ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया। दो दिन के पहुनाई जगत में, माया में भर माया। दो दिन के पहुनाई जगत में, माया में भर माया। धन दौलत कुछ काम न आवे, धन दौलत कुछ काम न आवे, छूट जाया काया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु,
ज्योति जन मगवाया,
ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया। सत्संग की गंग बही है, कोमल जिसकी धारा। सत्संग की गंग बही है, कोमल जिसकी धारा। कर स्नान विमल कर काया, कर स्नान विमल कर काया, पापिन पार कराया साधु, ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु,
ज्योति जन मगवाया,
ज्योति जन मगवाया साधु, Boli Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai. Devotees, what a very meaningful bhajan for all of us to take note of the meaning of this bhajan, devotees. Do din ki pahunai jagatame. That the bhajan is saying, being guests in this world for just, it says 2 days, but you understand the meaning of that. It's not a long time. We may think it's a long time, but devotees, time goes by very, very quickly. As we say, time flies. And before we know it, the end will come for each and every one of us. I said it on Wednesday when we did Satsangh, that each and every time that I have the unfortunate circumstance to perform Antyeshti Sanskar funeral ceremony for someone, it's a stark reminder for me. And it should be for all of us devotees that one day that will be us. Do din ke pahunai jagat me maya me bhar maya. That why should we allow maya to lead us astray? Why should we become fooled with this illusion around us? Dhan daulat kuch kaam na aave. That all the wealth that we have, all the possessions that we have, all the home and so on that we have, devotees, kuch kaam na aave. It doesn't bring us any sort of enjoyment. Chut jai yah kaya sadhu. That when we have to leave this body and go. Does it make a difference at that time, devotees? No, it doesn't. Now, again, we do not misunderstand the bhajan. The bhajan is not saying not to have, not to enjoy, not to be comfortable. Bhajan is saying that do not be fooled by it. Have it, but do not be fooled into thinking that this is mine. And this position is permanent, that this will always be mine. No, devotees. We enjoy in this world, yes. Dharma, arth, kam or moksha. The Lord sent us into this world to have all four. These are the four phal, the four fruits of human existence. One being kam, meaning enjoyment. That He sent us into this world to enjoy the niceties of this world according to righteous living, according to right living. But devotees, He also is telling us, do not become attached to the things of this world, because we are not going to always be here. We are not going to always be here. So devotees, this evening we will do a little part of Sri Ramcharitamanas, a few lines, in honor of this mother who has passed on. And we all join together as we chant these shlokas before we begin reading this evening, trying to rid of our minds of all negative thoughts, of all negative qualities, cleansing our minds as we prepare ourselves to receive this divine knowledge from Sri Ramcharitamanas. We all clasp our hands, we close our eyes, we bow our heads as we chant. Hari Om. Varnanam artha sanghanam rasanam chandasamapi mangalanam chakartaro vande vani vinayako bhavani shankaro bande Shraddha Vishwaswarupina Yam Yam Vinana Pashyante Siddha Svantastamishwaram Vande Bodham Mayam Nityam Guru Shankar Rupinam Yamashrito He Vakro Api Chandra Sarvatra Bandhyate Sitaram Gunagram Punyaranya Biharina Vande Vishuddha Vigyana Kavishwara Kapishwaro. Shri Ramayan Sumiran. Jehi so mera tasidhi ho Gananayak kari vara bharana Karuano graha soy Bodhi rashi shubha guna sadana Mukta hoy vacha Pangu charhaya gir vara gahana Ja sukripa sodaya Drava sakala kali mala dhana Nila saro rohasya Taruna aruna ba rejanayana Karo so mama uradhan Sarakshi rasa garashayana Kundayendu samadeha Umaramana karunayana Jahidina paraneha Karau kripamar dhanayana Bandav guru padkan Kripa sindhunar rupa hare Mahamoha tam punj Jasu bachan ravi karani kara Siyapati Ram Chandra Ji ki Jai Sharanam. Boli Shri Raja Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. This evening's Katha devotees is taken out of Sundarkand, out of Sri Ramcharitamanas. And it will give us a little part of the dialogue that took place between the younger brother of Ravan by the name of Vibhishan. After Vibhishan ji was expelled from Lanka, he was kicked out of Lanka by his elder brother Ravan. And of course we understand why he was kicked out. He was kicked out because he was trying to give correct advice. He was trying to give the right advice. And of course, being a prideful person, a person full of pride, Ravan did not want to accept this sober advice, this correct advice of Vibhishan ji. As such, he called him a traitor and he kicked him, literally kicked him, physically kicked him, and he told him to leave. He banished him from Lanka. And devotees being banished from Lanka, Vibhishan ji found a joy in his heart because now there's an opportunity to go and meet Prabhu Shri Ram. And he traveled across that sea, devotees, and he went to the camp of Prabhu Shri Ram, where he was camped on the shore of the ocean. And devotees, of course, was met with a little bit of suspicion as to why is Vibhishan, the brother of the enemy, why is he coming? Sugriva and others, they had their doubts about him. But Sri Ram said, no, bring him to me. and devotees, when he came and he saw Maryana Purushottam Prabhu Sri Ram devotees, he started to speak. Tears were running down his face upon seeing that most merciful, that most charming form of Prabhu Sri Ram and devotees. Our Katha begins this evening with Doha, where Vibhishan ji is saying to the Lord, Sujasो सोनी आयो प्रभु भंजन भव भीर प्रभु भंजन भव भीर त्राहि त्राहि आरती हरण शरण सुखद रघुवीर सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरण. Vibhishan ji started to speak to the Lord. He said, Shravana Sujasu Suni Ayeyo. He said, listening to your glory, hearing of your praises and hearing of your glories, O Lord, I have come to you. I have come to you. Prabhu Bhanjan Bhavbhir, that you are that Lord who destroys that cycle of birth and death in this world, coming and going and coming and going in this world. You destroy that cycle of transmigration, the cycle of Janma Maran, birth and death, all the time. Devotees, this is the freedom that we seek. The freedom of coming and going and coming and going. It's analogized, devotees, to like an airport. That when we go to the airport, and a loved one is coming, it's a place of great joy. But that very airport, when the loved one is leaving, becomes a place of great sorrow. In the same way, devotees, when we welcome a baby into this world, that place that we are in, becomes a place of great celebration. Then when a loved one leaves this world, that same place now becomes a place of despair, sorrow, sadness. The Lord destroys this cycle in our lives and leads us to a place where there is true peace and happiness. True peace and happiness. So to that end, Vibhishan ji, he was experiencing, even though he was dedicated to the Lord, but he was experiencing that pain and that misery because of where he resided. He was subjected to that pain and misery by the tyranny and the behavior of Ravan and others. So he went to the Lord. He said, Trahi trahi arati harana sharana sukhad raghubir. He said, Trahi trahi Prabhu, please save me. Please save me, O Prabhu. O Raghubir, you are that one who is the destroyer of all distress. You are Sukhad. You are that one who brings delight to all who take refuge in you, who seek your protection. He is Sharana Sukhad, that one who brings delight to those who seek his protection. Vibhishan ji, he heard all these wonderful things about Sri Ram, and it was his fervent desire to go and to meet with him. And devotees, each and every one of us, we should all have that fervent desire in our minds to also meet with our Prabhu. Prabhu mil jayenge. What we have to do? What we have to do to meet Prabhu? What does the bhajan say, devotees? प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे. प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो. That we develop that prem or bhakti. Where devotees, man mein lagan ho to, in our minds, in our hearts. We develop that prem or bhakti, love and devotion to the feet of the Lord, devotees. And what will happen? Prabhu mil jayenge. That we'll meet our Prabhu. Definitely, devotees. The Lord's promise is this. This is His promise to us, that we develop that love and devotion to His feet, that attachment to His lotus feet. And the Lord will come to us, devotees. Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge, Prabhu mil jayenge,
Prabhu mil jayenge.
प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे,
प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, प्रभु मिल जाएंगे.
One very beautiful bhajan, in this bhajan, that tells us, bhajano ke bol ho, bhav anmol ho. That in this age of Kali Yuga, devotee, is very simple. Bhagwan says, you don't have to do anything big and major, Bhajano ke bol ho. Chant the bhajan, chant the praises of the Lord. But how to chant? Bhav anmol ho. With that priceless feeling of love and devotion, devotees. Bhajano ke bol ho, bhav anmol ho. Bhajano ke bol ho, अर्चन के मोल हो तो प्रभु मुस्काएंगे, प्रभु मुस्काएंगे, प्रभु मुस्काएंगे,
प्रभु मुस्काएंगे.
प्रेम की अगन हो, भक्ति सगन हो, मन में लगन हो तो प्रभु मिल जाएंगे, 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 प्रभु मिल जाएंगे. शरण सुखद रघुबीर. Devotees, when we develop that prem or bhakti, that love and devotion in our hearts for Prabhu, is not to say that we don't have love for God, is not to say that we don't have devotion for God, but then we ask ourselves, how much of the time am I experiencing that love for Bhagwan? And how much of the time I'm experiencing love for the world, the Maya? Maya Shakti, the energy of Maya, comes from Bhagwan. Maya is said to be the maid servant of Bhagwan, the servant of Bhagwan. So then who should we serve, devotees? Should we serve the servant or should we serve the master? Who should we go to get what we need? We go to the servant or do we go to the master? Devotees, Vibhishan ji went. And he said these wonderful words to Prabhu Shri Ram. And then what happened, devotees? Let us hear in this short bhai. अस कही करत दंडवत देखा, अस कही करत दंडवत देखा, तुरत उठे प्रभु हरस विशेषा बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम दीन बचन सुनि प्रभु मन भावा भुज विशाल गहि हृदय लगावा बोलो श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम What happened, devotees? As kahi karat dandavat dekha. Devotees, Prabhu Shri Ram saw Vibhishan ji in front of him performing what is called dandavat. Dandavat. I've explained this many times. What dandavat means. That he fell before Shri Ram as flat, like a stick. Flat on the ground, he fell like a stick. And his tears were flowing from his eyes, devotees. Love, tears of love for Bhagwan. And devotees, when the Lord saw Vibhishan ji expressing such love and prostrating himself, saying these wonderful words, these beautiful words, Turato the Prabhu Harsha Bisesha, devotees, the Lord got up. Prabhu Shri Ram, he got up from where he was with a great delight in his heart, with a great joy in his heart, devotees. Deena bachan suni Prabhu man bhava. The Lord was very, very happy to hear the Deena bachan, the very humble words of Vibhishan. We cannot stress this word too much, devotees. Humility, and the other one is simplicity. To be humble and to be simple. These are two very powerful traits that we can all have in our lives. And you know who is the very, very great example of those two powerful traits? Pavanaputra Hanumanji. Pavanaputra Hanumanji is the greatest example, or one of the greatest examples of these two very powerful traits. And he's so revered and respected in this world, devotees. Begi haro Hanuman Mahaprabhu जो कछु संकट होए हमारो कौन सो संकट मोरे गरीब को जो तुमसे नहीं जात है तारो. Let us all chant to Hanumanji, devotees. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai Kripa Karo Maharaj. If we're in a place, devotees, where we can close our eyes and focus upon that form, upon Putra Hanumanji, and we say unto Hanumanji, Kripa Karo Maharaj. O Lord, please be merciful. Shower your blessings upon us. Give us that ability to be humble and to be simple in our lives. Jai 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 Hanuman गोसाई कृपा करो महाराज। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई
कृपा करो महाराज।
तन में तुम्हारे शक्ति विराजे, मन भक्ति से भीना। तन में तुम्हारे शक्ति विराजे,
मन भक्ति से दीना।
जो जन तुम्हारे शरण में आए, जो जन तुम्हारे
शरण में आए,
दुख दरिद्र हर लेना। हनुमत
दुख दरिद्र हर दीना।
महावीर प्रभु हम दुखियन को, महावीर प्रभु हम दुखियन को, तुम्हारो गरीब निवाज। हनुमत तुम्हारो गरीब निवाज। हनुमत जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो महाराज। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करो महाराज। कृपा करो महाराज। कृपा करो बोलो पावन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। Devotees, each and every day we pray unto Pawan Putra Hanumanji, Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nij Man Mukura Sudhari Barano Raghuvar Vimala Jasu Jo Nayak Phalachari. We should all learn these dohas, these chaupas of the Shri Hanumanji Chalisa and chant daily to Pawan Putra Hanumanji, that he bless us with these two wonderful qualities of humility, simplicity. Vibhishanji, devotees, is showing this. He's not pretending. He is showing these qualities, devotees. The Lord was very pleased to hear this very humble words of Vibhishanji. And what he did, devotees, Bhuj Bishal Gahi Hriday Lagawa. Devotees, the Lord took him in his very long and strong arms and he clasped him to his heart. Boli Shri Ram Chandra ki jai. What does it feel like to be embraced by Bhagwan, devotees? Maybe one day when we meet Vibhishanji, we can ask him. Maybe one day when we meet Prabhu and we feel that embrace of the Lord, we will understand what Vibhishanji felt at that moment, devotees. And when this happened, let us hear what happened in Chaupai. अनुज सहित अनुज सहित राम अनुज सहित में दिग में हारे बोले बचन भगत भय हारे श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Kaho Lankesha Sahita Parivara Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Jaya Rama
Kushal Kutahara Kushal Kutahara कुशल कुठार बास तुम्हारा श्री राम जय जय श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya What happened, devotees? Anuja Sahit Mile Dega Baithare. Not only did Prabhu Shri Ram embrace Vibhishanji, Anuja Sahit Mili Digbai Thare, that Lakshmanji also embraced him. Lakshmanji also embraced him. You understand, devotees? The importance of setting a good example for those who are coming after us. For those who are younger than us. Importance of setting a good example. The Lord set the example, Lakshmanji followed. He followed. And devotees, Lakshmanji embraced him. And then, what they did? They seated him by their side. They didn't tell him to sit below them. They seated him by their side. Bole bachana bhagat bhaihari. And devotees, the Lord started to speak to Vibhishanji to dispel his fears, to dispel his doubts. The Lord started to speak to him. He said, Kaho Lankesh Sahit Parivara. Devotees, he called him Lankesh. He called Vibhishanji the king of Lanka. He said, Kaho Lankesh. Vibhishanji wasn't the king. Ravan was the king at that time. But Sri Ram is giving a subtle message. He's giving a subtle message that one day you will be the king. You will be the king. As a matter of fact, before they left the southern shores of India, Vibhishanji was coronated. He was given that kingship of Lanka. The Lord promised this to him. And devotees, he said, Kaho Lankesh Sahita Parivara. He said, how is your family, O Lankesh? How is your family, O Vibhishanji? Kushal Kutahar Basa Tumhara. He said, that place where you live, there's a lot of evil that happens there. There's a lot of wickedness that happens in this place. How is your family? How is your family? Devotees, the Lord is interested in our welfare. The Lord is interested in how we are. Do we take the time to tell Bhagwan how our day went? Do we tell the Lord, my Lord, today I had a good day. A lot of good things happened to me. Lord, my Lord, today I didn't have such a good day. I don't know why. Do we take that time to talk to Bhagwan, devotees? Bhagwan is interested. He's interested to hear us. He's interested to listen to what we have to say to him. We must make that time, devotees. He's asking Vibhishanji, how is your family? That place where you live is not a nice place. There's a lot of evil that exists there. The Lord knows everything, devotees. And then he went on to say, let us hear in this chopai. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Bolo Shri Ram Jaya Ram
Jaya Jaya Rama Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama
Khal Mandali Basahu Din Rati Sakha Dharma निवहई के भांति बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
मैं जानो तुम्हारी सब रीति बोलो श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
अत नहीं पुनः भाव अनीति बोलो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
रघुपति राघव राजा राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम बोलो रघुपति राघव राजा राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम. The Lord went on to say, खल मंदल बसहु दिन रात सखा धर्म निवहई के भांति. He said to Vibhishan ji, Khal mandali basahu dinarati, day and night, O Vibhishan ji, you are surrounded by wickedness, by evil. And you live in this basahu. You live in this condition, surrounded by negativity, surrounded by evil, surrounded by wickedness. Does it sound familiar? Does it sound familiar to any one of us? We look around in the world today, devotees, and we see the atrocities and the behaviors of many in the community and society. And we see the selfishness that exists. We see the pride that exists. We see the greed that exists in our community. We are encompassed, we are surrounded by all of these things. The Lord is saying, living as you do, encompassed by all this wickedness, all this evil, He said, Sakha dharma nivahai kehi bhati. He says, how do you practice dharma? How do you practice the duties of right conduct? O Vibhishan ji, Boli Shri Ram Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Devotees, no matter we are encompassed, no matter we are surrounded, whatever our surroundings are, what the Lord is trying to tell us here is that we have a choice. There's a choice for us that we can continue to practice our dharma. We can continue to do what is correct and do what is right, even though we are surrounded by any amount of negativity or complete negativity. It's our choice to do what is correct, and practice dharma, right conduct. That's our choice, devotees. He says, Main jano tumhari sab riti. He says, I know all about your way of life, Vibhishan. Devotees, the Lord is that silent witness inside each and every one of us. He's that silent witness inside each and every one of us. He knows. He's called Antaryami. Antaryami means that He lives in the heart of each and every one, inside. And He understands. He knows the innermost thoughts, the feelings of each and every one. We cannot hide, devotees. Cannot hide from Bhagwan. He knew Vibhishanji lived in such a place. He knew Vibhishanji would make that effort. He would make that effort, devotees, to wake up in the morning and do his sadhana. As a matter of fact, when he wake up in the morning, Ram Ram Tehi Sumiran Kinha, first thing he would do is remember Prabhu Shri Ram. He will wake up and he will start to chant the name of the Lord. Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. What a wonderful thing it will be, devotees, when we can wake up in the morning and we can start chanting this. Normally when we wake up in the morning, I say, oh God, I'm still tired, yes? Oh God, I could get 15 minutes more. But at least we say no God, eh? But better if we say, Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Bolo Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare Ram Ram Bhaju Man Hare Hare. Holy Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Can wake in the morning, devotees, and start chanting. Beautiful. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. We can start chanting these beautiful mantras. Devotees, we start our day on the right foot. We are told when we get off our bed, we should try to put our right foot down first. Put the right foot down first and pray to Dharti Mata. You know that prayer that we chant in our puja, Om Shama Shvame Parasparsham, that we are asking Dharti Mata, Oh Mother, please forgive me. Please forgive me, O Mother, for placing my feet upon you. We are asking Mother for forgiveness. And we place our right foot on the ground and we start to pray. We start our day in this way, devotees. What a wonderful day we will have. What a wonderful day we'll have. You know, asking that blessing and inviting that blessing of the Lord to be with us. He says, the Lord says, I know all about your way of life, O Vibhishan. He says, Ati naya nipunana bhavaniti. I know of your great knowledge. I know of your wise behavior and that you do not like what is not correct. Your aversion to that which is not right. I know all about this. And devotees, Vibhishanji made a very wonderful statement. I have to just summarize the rest of the katha now because of the time that we have. But it's a very beautiful message that Vibhishanji gives in this doha. Those who are interested to read further this very, very beautiful katha, we started from doha number 45 of Sundarkand of Sri Ramcharitamanas. You can go to your Ramayan and read further what Vibhishanji says. So, this last doha that we're going to do, let us hear what Vibhishanji says. सब लगे कुशल न जीव कहो रामा सपने मन विश्राम जब लगी भजत न राम कहो रामा शोक धाम तजी काम सियापति राम चंद्र जी के उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय पूरे सागर नाथ की जय बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरण. Vibhishan ji said these words to Prabhu Shri Ram after listening to all the wonderful things that Shri Ram had to say about him, after the way that Prabhu Shri Ram treated him as an equal. He put him to sit beside him, he embraced him. Lakshman ji also, devotees, Vibhishan ji said, Tab lagi kushala na jiva kahu, sapanehu man bishram. He says that there can be no happiness for anyone, for any type of creature, any type of being. Nor can the mind know any peace, even in a dream. Sapanehu man bishram, that mind will not know any sort of restfulness, any sort of peacefulness, devotees. What is the condition? Jab lagi bhajatan ram kaho, shok dham tajikam. So long as that one does not relinquish or give up that abode of unhappiness known as calm, lust. Of course, not lust alone. If you read further, Vibhishan ji highlights some other qualities as well. But this doha, he speaks about lust. Shok dham tajikam, he says, to give up that abode of shok, of unhappiness, called calm. And jab lagi bhajatan ram kaho, and worship Prabhu Shri Ram. Boli Shri Ram Chandra ki jai. What a wonderful message we are getting here today. You know, any mother, any father, any parent, all they would like to see for their children is that their children are happy. They're happy, they're successful, everything is good with them. That they're not unhappy. Any parent. And even when that parent leaves this world, devotees, we'll find that that parent will look back to see what is happening with their children. Today, on this 5th anniversary of the passing of this mother, we are given this wonderful message of how we should live our lives in order to attain peace and happiness. He says there can be no happiness, no peace for that one unless they give up negative qualities and worship Bhagwan. So devotees, we join our voices together. There's one kirtan that was also requested, and we'll try our best to adhere to that request and fulfill that request. And we ask the grace and blessings of Shri Krishna Bhagwan to be upon this mother today that has passed, and all the members of the families, both families, relatives and friends. You can focus the camera back on the picture. So. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshav Hari Govinda, Hari Keshav Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Keshav Hari Govinda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Hari Sundar Nanda Mukunda, Hari Narayan Hari Om. Banmali Murali Dhare, Govardhan Girivardhare. Banmali बनमाले मुरली धारे, गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारे.
बनमाले मुरली धारे, गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारे.
नित नित कर माखन चोरी, गोपी मन हारे. आवो रे कान्हारे, गोकुल के प्यारे.
आओ रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
गावो रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे. गावो रे
नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
गावो रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
गाओ रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि केशव हरि गोविंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि केशव हरि गोविंदा,
हरि नारायण हरि ओम.
हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. बनमाले मुरली धारे, गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारे.
बनमाले मुरली धारे, गोवर्धन गिरिवर धारे.
नित नित कर माखन चोरी, गोपी मन हारे.
नित नित कर माखन चोरी, गोपी मन हारे.
आवो रे कान्हारे, गोकुल के प्यारे.
आओ रे कान्हारे, गोकुल के प्यारे.
गावो रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
गाओ रे नाचो रे, रास रचाओ रे.
हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. हरि सुंदर नंद मुकुंदा, हरि नारायण हरि ओम. 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 बोले श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. At this time, devotees, we will engage in our final pratana to end this evening's satsang. We humbly pray and ask the grace and blessings of the Divine Lord to be upon this departed Atma, this departed soul, members of the family who have borne this loss, Nirmala, Maharaj Hari, Inar, Maharaj and their families, and all friends, relatives who have joined today, and all devotees who have joined in this satsang. We humbly pray and ask the grace and blessings of Bhagwan, Prabhu Shri Ram, Shri Krishna Bhagwan to be upon us all. Let us all pray, devotees. Hari Om. Tvameva Mata Shapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Shasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. He Sarva Shaktiman Sachidanand Nirakar Nirvikar Sarvadhar Sarveshwar Sarva Vyapak Antaryami Ajar Amar Nitya Pavitra Shrishti Karta ko बारंबार नमस्कार है. हे परमात्मा भाविष्य वर्तमान दुखियों का कष्ट हरण करके सुबुद्धि को प्रकाश कर कि जिससे सबका मंगल हो. ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम. गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 गोविंदा
राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
ओ राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
ओ राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा
ओ राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा
बोलो गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा बोलो
गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा
राधे
राधे
गोविंदा
गोविंदा
राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा
गोविंदा गोविंदा गोविंदा राधे राधे गोविंदा 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 राधे राधे गोविंदा. बोली सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. उमापति महादेव की जय. पवन सुत हनुमान की जय. वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय. और ऐसा जगन्नाथ की जय. बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय. सियापति रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. बोली श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय. So on behalf of Nirmala Maharaj Hari and family and Inar Maharaj and family, I'd like to thank all of you for joining with us this evening in this wonderful dedication of devotion on behalf of this occasion, the fifth anniversary passing of their mother. And we do hope and pray that Bhagwan's blessings will be upon each and every one of you, wherever you are in this world today and you're listening to this satsang. We pray that Bhagwan continues to bless each and every one, guiding, protecting us, and directing our lives to that place where we will find peace, happiness, contentment. As I always say, devotees, keep being safe, doing what is correct, doing what you have to do for your own peace of mind, for your safety, and for your comfort. So please join with us tomorrow morning as we engage in our Sunday devotion, regular Sunday devotion, from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. And do not forget, very, very soon, coming up is Shri Ganesh Chaturthi next week, Saturday, and also Maha Shivratri on February the 28th. So once more, devotees, God's blessings to each and every one of you. Until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Jai Jai